Today, trouble in paradise as tensions boil over, and Bachelor couple Astrid and Kevin will break it all down.
I don't know about combative, but I think he definitely likes to stir the pot a little bit.
Plus, who are you gonna call? The ghost hunters are here to get us spooked about their new season.
So we're sitting there trying to interact with this entity, and right off the bat, we start hearing noises from downstairs.
This is your reality check.
I have nothing to do with this.
What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday, and we've got another great show lined up for you today. I'm your host, Lyndsey Rodrigues. Welcome to Reality Check. Today, I am joined by one of the original ghost hunters, Grant Wilson, and two of his new team members, Richel Stratton. And next to me here is Brian Murray. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us. Happy to be here.
I am thrilled that you guys are here, and I wish that we had you for longer, but we will be getting into ghost hunters in just a little bit because it's back. But we have to start off our show with our top five. At number 5, we are unfortunately starting off on a sad note today as comedian Andy Dick was hospitalized this weekend having been attacked outside a club in New Orleans. He was making his way to an Uber after wrapping up a set at the French Quarter's One-Eyed Jacks on Friday when he was sucker punched, falling and hitting his head on the pavement. Now, Andy's agent told Fox about the incident. When he got knocked out, he was out for 15 minutes on the ground. We thought he was dead. A spokesperson for the NOPD confirmed to People that David Hale has been arrested in association with the attack and booked for second-degree battery and simple battery. So, Andy, we wish you a very speedy recovery. We're so sorry that this happened. You guys, do you want to send your well wishes to Andy?
Yeah, just get better, man, and watch out. I mean, it's uncalled for.
It really is.
That's not a good thing. Ugh.
Thoughts are with you. Number 4. Sheep Payne has opened up about his financial ups and downs in an interview with The Breakfast Club, saying that he's been on each end of the spectrum, explaining that he went from having $40 million to having to ask for money to buy his kids a burger. The rapper admitted, "I've been mega rich, you know. I've been super broke, right in the middle of thinking I was mega rich, and then I got rich again." He goes on to note that he's doing much better financially now, and that the more he puts into his work, the more he finds he gets out of it. So, Grant, you found fame from, obviously, the original series of Ghost Hunters, and that blew up very much overnight. So what advice would you have for people who find themselves with this overnight success and fame?
So I took it as an opportunity to get out of debt. I was very smart. My wife is brilliant with it. Money comes in, we took half of it immediately and put it in a separate account.
So smart.
Just put it there, because then taxes come and that's what destroys you. You don't expect this stuff. But I just paid down debt, and I looked at more what was I going to be paying monthly, and I minimized that number.
Yeah.
And it's good. So if you fall upon good success, I suggest take an allotted amount, a certain amount, budget for it, and have fun.
Yeah.
Get that house you wanted or whatever.
Right.
Get that car you wanted, but be smart with the rest.
Yeah, plan for the future and don't assume that because you're famous today, you're going to be famous tomorrow, right?
Exactly.
At number 3, I'm very excited about this one. Ashley Graham revealed she's pregnant.
Hey.
The supermodel and her husband, Justin Irvin, are expecting their first child, with a gorgeous couple announcing the news in an Instagram video this morning. Now, Graham captioned the post, "Today, we are feeling so blessed, grateful, and excited to celebrate with our growing family." The announcement came on the couple's 9-year wedding anniversary, and we just couldn't be happier for the parents-to-be. Let's make a quick prediction. Boy or girl?
Boy.
Boy?
I could go either way, 50-50. No,
That's very true. That's
I
biology.
have 3 boys, so I'll say boy.
All right, boy. Richel? Girl. I'm with you. I hope it's a girl, and I hope that she also powers the body positive movement just like Ashley, because she is a force.
Yes.
At number 2, Cody Lee delivered another breathtaking performance on America's Got Talent. The 22-year-old singer, who was born with optic nerve hyperplasia and diagnosed with autism at the age of 4, brought judges to tears with his rendition of Simon & Garfunkel's Bridge Over Troubled Water, which was quickly approved by Paul Simon himself after seeing Cody's golden buzzer moment. Cody told People, "Heck yeah," after his performance last night. Now, there are just so many inspirational people on this show, so many talented people, but do we think that Cody really has a shot at winning this thing?
Absolutely.
Of course he does.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's got everything going for him. He has real talent, he's got charisma, and he's got everybody's heart.
He really does.
I mean, I feel like that is what you kind of need if you want to be successful. And
Yeah, and
got
he has a
it.
backstory that people can just really attach themselves to, and I just think he gives inspiration to so many people that might be struggling with various things.
Yeah, and it's
He's
not a pity
incredible.
thing. He really has the skill.
Yeah,
you know, no one's
absolutely.
giving him that golden buzzer because they feel sorry for him.
Absolutely. He's a talented, talented young man. And at number one, speaking of finances, on Wednesday, Todd and Julie Chrisley turned themselves in after they were indicted by a federal grand jury on multiple counts of conspiracy, bank and wire fraud, and tax evasion. In a statement obtained by People, Todd's attorney said the Chrisleys are innocent of all charges. Prosecutors say that between 2007 and 2012, the reality stars conspired to defraud banks by providing them with false information when applying for and receiving millions of dollars in loans. The 12-count indictment alleges that they used their production company to hide their reality TV income from the IRS and that Todd directed an employee to falsify income and asset documents. The couple will appear in federal court later today and face up to 30 years in prison if convicted. Now, this is, of course, a developing story, so for more updates, go to people.com. But how do you think this will affect their show, and do you think networks will even want to work with them after this? Will this become a reality show?
What I tell you, taxes will get you. They get you in the end.
All the time.
I honestly, you can make a show out of anything.
True.
And if they want to follow them on whatever path they go, I think it will be interesting.
I want to see the show.
You want to see it now?
Definitely want
I mean,
to
it
see
could be a teachable. Look, I'm not even from here and I pay taxes, all right? So if you're American, pay the IRS, man.
Just do it.
Well, look, now it is time to talk about Ghost Hunters because it is
All right.
back and we could not be more excited about this reboot. So, Grant, you took a 7-year hiatus, so to focus on your family. Let's take a look.
I co-founded a paranormal investigation group with one simple goal in mind: to help people who are terrified to live in their own homes. Here we go, after 7 years. Back at it.
Bye.
Good luck out there.
Take it easy, man.
Help as many people as you can.
So we know that you love to help people, and you have said this season is definitely a more emotional one. But what did you miss the most about ghost hunting while you were taking that break?
So I missed, I never stopped investigating, so I'd always been doing it, but I missed having that voice. I watched the paranormal field kind of wobble a little bit, you know, and I felt like I really needed to get back on here to have that voice to show people that these entities are most likely people and not trick ponies, you know? You can't go in there and say, you know, backflip for me.
Right.
It's rude. It's
Yeah.
rude. We have an obligation to help them.
I love that. I love that. And Richel and Brian, tell us how you came to be on the show and what your backgrounds are and what you each bring to the table in terms of investigating the paranormal.
I'm
So-
still trying to figure out how I got on the show, to be honest with you. Me too. It's like,
I'm
what?
with her on that.
Well, how did you find these two wonderful people, Grant?
So we did a huge search. We searched all over. I could have brought all my friends on the show, but I didn't feel that was right. And, you know, not everyone has the flexibility to do a TV show, but we were looking for people with real-world knowledge, knowledge about how buildings work, how the brain works, because that's very useful. People who have actual experience. Everyone on the team is an experienced paranormal investigator. But most importantly, people who have integrity and heart. Because while everyone thinks it's about spookiness and stuff, it's really about helping people.
Well, there's a lot of empathy, I would imagine, that goes into
A lot,
to ghost hunting. Because
absolutely.
as you said, you have to treat these people, they're people.
Exactly.
Essentially, yeah.
So, me and Brian were actually best friends. We live 5 minutes from each other.
Cool.
He started his own paranormal team, and then I don't know how many years later, my sister and me, we investigated together, and she's like, I'm going to try to join a team. I was like, okay, you go ahead, and if it's not a cult, let me know, and I'll
Just
come.
send her in.
Yeah, I was like, you can be the sacrificial lamb here, and if things go well, then maybe I'll join. And they did, and I met one of my best friends,
Oh,
and
that's so cool.
then somehow we're doing this now.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
So in this new season, because a lot has changed in the time since you last did the show, what can we expect? I know you have new technology, new teammates. You know, how has the paranormal field changed in that time?
So it's changed a lot. Go ahead.
I would say that the goal isn't about finding actual ghosts anymore. It's about trying to help people out and basically getting to that point of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and in order to do that, we have better technology because, you know, how fast technology advances.
Yeah.
But we're using real technology, getting real data, not stuff that's designed to find a ghost. That's fun for your personal reasons, but so we have great technology. Like, for example, we would catch these voices on recordings, and they were always flat. It's just a recording. But now we have 3D audio, so we can put headphones on and know where that voice is in the room. So it makes it easier to disprove it or validate it.
Right.
And that is really nuts when you have them on.
Oh, yeah.
and
I
you hear
bet.
it. It's crazy.
It's so
Because I'll be like
immersive.
investigating with Brian. I'm like, someone is walking over here. Like, and it makes it easier to investigate too, because when you hear something, you know exactly which area you need to be going to.
Yeah. Oh, guys, it sounds
really
like it's
cool.
just going to be like the best season yet. So congratulations. I'm so glad that you're back. I'm so glad that you guys are a part of the team. Make sure you watch the new season of Ghost Hunters. It premieres August 21st on A&E at 9 p.m. Eastern. Grant, Richel, and Brian, thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you.
the time. There's no spirits here, right? We're good?
No. No.
All right, good.
No, but you can come join the team.
Yeah, we got it on camera. I'm part of the team. It's happening. All right, we're going to take a very short break, but when we come back, we'll be showing you my chat with Bachelor in Paradise alums and lovebirds Astrid Loch and Kevin Wendt. Stay tuned. I'm going to go sunning. Welcome back to Reality Check. I am here with Bachelor in Paradise alums Kevin Wendt and Astrid Loch. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
How are the two of you?
Doing well. Doing well. Yeah.
So, I mean, let's talk about you guys, because you actually broke up at the end of your season, but then you got back together off camera. So what was it that brought you back together, and what has been the secret to making it last?
I mean, breaking up, I think, in the first place was a big mistake. I think I got overwhelmed. Reality TV can be very overwhelming if you're not prepared mentally to be away from everyone, kind of isolated for a month in a Bachelor environment was probably not the healthiest for our relationship to
Pressure
grow.
of getting engaged at the end.
Yeah, yeah, and I think when the pressure came to, it's time to think of the engagement part, I just thought of, there's too many things I need to know about her, and I want her to know about me in the real world. It caused me to freak out a little bit, had a little bit of a temper tantrum, broke up with her, and then once we got home, she went back to Florida and I went to Canada. We just realized that we missed each other quite a bit after no time at all, pretty much.
Yeah.
Reached out to each other and a couple secret flights to each other later, and yeah, here we are.
Oh, that's wonderful. And on the subject of engagement, Astrid, you have said that you want to be engaged before you turn 30.
Pressure.
Have you guys talked about the whole marriage thing since your time on Paradise? Do you know what kind of ring Astrid wants?
I mean, we've definitely talked
I
about
feel
it.
like we talk about marriage and kids more than we talk about really getting engaged.
Right.
I think at this point, at our age, we're not dating just to date, so there's not really, I joke with him that I'd like to get engaged in my 20s, but
I have
realistically,
about
there's
5
no
months
timeline.
left until the deadline, so I got a little bit of time left.
Well, why don't we get into this new season of Bachelor in Paradise, because it's been juicy right off the bat. Are there any couples that you think have a shot so far?
We like Chris and Katie a lot. We
Yeah.
feel like they're the most like us. They're kind of out of the drama and actually just getting to know each other. And he's a little bit older, and I feel like he knows what he wants. He's got a good job, so.
And I'm a big fan of Clay. Clay's
Yeah, we like
my
Clay a lot.
buddy, and
Yeah.
he seems to be really into Nicole right now.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that goes somewhere because he's just a good guy and he deserves to find something good.
It seemed like they had such a great time on that date, and they had the fireworks going off.
yeah,
and
yeah.
So, I mean, that was cool to see.
And he's not a dramatic controversy type guy. He's just a big teddy bear.
He seems like it, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he deserves someone good. So hopefully she treats him well. And
Yeah,
we'll see.
fingers crossed,
Yeah.
fingers crossed. Well, the biggest plot line so far, of course, has been the whole Dylan, Blake, Hannah drama. But
Yeah.
it seems that a lot of the blame for all of that has been sort of steered away from Blake and has been pointed towards Hannah. Let's take a look.
All day she was Dylan. Wasn't she just like with him like an hour ago for like the last 15 hours a day?
Making out on the couch up there.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought Hannah G was kind of innocent in all of this, but I feel as though she's had her hand in a lot of the drama.
I mean, it's no secret that in life and in this franchise, in many franchises, there is a double standard. And if a guy did the same thing, would it be as big of a deal? But I mean, what's your take on it? Do you think that Hannah is being a little bit messy, kissing both boys, and she also made out with Wills, and
Yeah.
or do you think that she's just doing what she's there to do, which is find out who she's most compatible with?
I mean, I think it's still so early. These people just got on the beach a couple days ago, so I think it looks a lot worse than it probably is in that moment, because you're there to really mingle and talk to everyone and figure out who you click with. And a couple days into that, you're still unsure. You don't know these people 100%. So
I feel like some of the things Hannah has been doing has been okay because she's exploring her options. I know she's into Blake. She seemed to be into Wills. She seemed to be into a few people, but it's the
doing it in front of
other
Dylan's face,
people,
yeah.
in front of Dylan.
Not the best.
You should probably keep those things a little bit separate.
Yeah.
And then be fully transparent with what you're doing so
Right.
that someone's not being led through the whole thing thinking they're the
Yeah.
only one.
Yeah.
And I worry that Dylan thinks he's the only one, and he keeps thinking she's going to come back, and eventually she might just end up with someone else.
I know, and the poor kid, like he's like really questioning, like, well, what am I missing here? And you know,
The one mistake you can make, I feel, through our friends who have gone through similar things, is you can get tunnel vision on one person, and you don't really explore other things out there that maybe you should. So
Right.
someone like Dylan, day one, says, I'm here for Hannah. Well, who knows? There might be somebody there that works well with you as well.
and he
so.
can take his pick. I mean, he's gorgeous.
Yeah,
He's
so-
obviously got a really kind soul.
Yeah, so I think you just, sometimes people hurt themselves by getting too tunnel vision on one person.
Yeah.
It can drive a girl away. Being
That's
too,
true.
hanging on a girl's arm 24/7 isn't necessarily the biggest.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess like, infatuation, man. Like,
Yeah.
is he like a very combative kind of person?
I don't know about combative, but I think he definitely likes to stir the
Strong.
pot a little bit.
Strong
Okay.
personality.
Yeah.
Well, the season's been teasing this very big fight between Jordan and Christian. Let's take a look at that tease.
Leading to the most shocking confrontation
Wait,
in Paradise history.
no, guys, stop.
Touch me, bitch! What's up? Oh my God! Oh my God! Watch your
So you guys were on last season with Jordan. Were you surprised that he was involved in such a fight?
No.
I'm not.
No, I'm
really?
not surprised at all. I feel like last year he was teamed up, or he was in a relationship really early with Jenna, right? So he was kind of hanging out with her the whole time. But if
Yeah.
you remove him out of the relationship and put him as a single guy on the beach, he's a shit disturber.
Yeah,
I can see him, yeah.
Is he
I
like a very combative kind of person?
I don't know about combative, but I think he definitely likes to stir the
Strong.
pot a little bit.
Strong
Okay.
personality. Yeah. Very, very strong, very opinionated.
Wow.
Great guy, but he's a comedian.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm excited to see how that plays out.
Yeah, me
because,
too.
I mean, it looks very dramatic.
Well, they have
Yeah.
drama already from before, so I'm sure
Right.
that doesn't help for it to go from 0 to 100.
Yeah, and then as you said, I mean, like you're mixing alcohol and isolation, and this
Being
is like a
sleep
whole.
deprived, yeah.
and you're sleep deprived. I mean, it's the perfect storm.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of debate recently in the reality world as to whether or not you should ever share private text messages. It's been happening actually on a few shows, not just Bachelor in Paradise, but obviously Blake shared the messages that he had received from Kaylin that kind of proved that she had been maybe not quite as honest about their stagecoach hookup. You were actually with Blake when he released those messages
Just the day before.
the day before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in your opinion, was it wrong of him to do that, or was he just trying to clear his name?
I think it's both. At the start, he said, I don't want to do it. He's like, I know there's a line between the reality show and bringing in that. Because, I mean, you shouldn't be hanging out before the show anyways. And he knew that. He knew, it's against our contract. You're not supposed to be mingling with everybody. You're supposed to wait till the beach. But once he kind of crossed that line and they had that relationship prior to, he was trying to go to the beach fresh and say, let's just start fresh. And she
Yeah.
obviously didn't think that way. She was very butthurt about what had happened before.
Right.
And I feel like once he saw the reaction, like Twitter can be very intimidating when you start hearing your name being thrown around as the worst person and all compared to all the other villains. And he got really, I guess, anxiety and like the crazy panic attack he had. And he said, I just need to do something to like let people know I'm not this big a-hole player that everyone thinks I am.
Yeah.
Whether it's right or wrong, I personally can't say I'm on either side. I think it's hard to say he did the right thing, but in his mind, that made the most sense.
Like that was
And
his only recourse at that point.
and I feel like even now he's a little bit happy. Like I feel like it did a little bit of relief to him because he felt like he was being attacked for not everything that was like it wasn't fully true.
Yes.
Even though he's guilty in a lot of ways, and he's definitely not proud of all of his actions.
Right.
He definitely feels like he was misrepresented through her interviews, and he didn't get a chance to defend himself on the show.
Yeah. Yeah. Astrid, do you have any like as a female? What was your take on the whole situation?
I think it would definitely be mortifying to have those kind of texts out in public, especially for your parents or your siblings or anything to read. You know,
Just
it
also
would,
in the culture of like slut shaming and
for
the
sure.
stuff
I
that we
think
go
it's
through
just
as
a
women.
different era of dating too, though, to where the lines are blurred a lot of the time, to where one person might think it's exclusive, another person doesn't feel that same way. I think for him, I don't think anybody would have believed him had he just come out and done an interview or done a podcast or said something on Instagram. I think that was the only way for him to sort of clear his name.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have done it, but I understand where he came from.
Yeah. I mean,
He just felt completely alone, and he felt like nobody believed him, and he just wanted to make sure. And he didn't want to. He was more about saving his own name than trashing hers. Like that was very clear to me that he was not looking to bash her. He just needed people to know that he's not this womanizing player that everyone was painting him out to be.
Right.
And that they were talking a week before Paradise. So
Yeah.
the fact that they're still texting a week before
Yeah.
shows that he's not he asked, I think the one message said, just checking in to see how you are.
Yeah, that's true.
So he wasn't ghosting her and all that. I think,
Yeah.
but texting or posting the message that way was pretty dramatic of him to do.
It was. But also, I mean, I think the situation was dramatic because at the end of the day, he's a single guy. He didn't technically do anything wrong. He wasn't cheating on anyone. You know, is it a little bit icky to sleep with two people like 2 nights in a row? Like probably, but at the same time, he's a young single dude looking for the right person. So I do think the whole thing was. I mean, look, it's been interesting to watch, that's for sure. And it hasn't affected his game with Hannah because, I mean, she still seems to be super into him. So, I mean, best of luck to them all. And best of luck to you guys, an adorable couple. Enjoy your trip to Australia.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, come back on the show anytime. We wish you all the best in your relationship.
Thanks.
So here's to a long and happy love story.
Thank you.
I am Lyndsey Rodrigues, and you are watching Reality Check. Welcome back. It is time for a reality history moment, this time from the Kardashian archives. Enjoy.
Baby, give me a hug real quick.
In this 2011 episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, while the family vacations in Bora Bora, Kim's then boyfriend and soon-to-be second husband, Chris Humphries, throws her into the ocean where she promptly loses her $75,000 diamond earring.
My earring's gone!
Are you
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry! My diamond earring!
Kim's tearful tantrum is one of the greatest moments in reality history, and Kourtney's response isn't bad either.
Kim, there's people that are dying.
You gotta admit, Kourtney makes a point. That is all we have time for today. I want to say a huge thank you to Grant Wilson, Richel Stratton, and Brian Murray from Ghost Hunters, and Astrid Loch and Kevin Wendt from Bachelor Nation for their time today. Remember to follow @People on Twitter to watch the newest Reality Check episode streaming every day at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. I am Lyndsey Rodrigues, and I will check you tomorrow. Bye.